What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here. In this training, we're going to talk about business schools. If you're interested in applying to a college for pursuing a business career, this training is for you. If it's our first time meeting, my name is Coach Tony. I'm actually a former UC Berkeley admissions reader myself. I was behind the scenes. I said yes or no to thousands of students. Then I became a director at UCLA, and I even opened my own high school after that as well too. So I've been doing this for 16 years now, and over the years we gather information, and we've been teaching our coaching families how to navigate this admissions journey as well too. And this is one of the topics that likes to come up because a lot of our students are interested in pursuing a business path. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and kind of break down the business kind of one-on-one for those who are interested. Just so we are going live right now. So in the chat, if you guys can help me, can you drop what grade you guys are in? Are you in ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, if you guys are 12th graders as well, just so I can kind of gauge for those who are attending live, I can kind of see who where you guys are at, can I kind of customize a few of the training topics to you guys as well too. Awesome. So I see here we got a lot of 11th graders, we got a few 10th right here, a few ninth graders as well too, but a lot of 11th graders. So fantastic. Thank you everyone for sharing the grade here. And if it's your very first time, go ahead and drop a one in the chat. If it's your first time coming to one of our trainings, one if you're a first timer, two if you've been here once or twice before, so we kind of gauge that as well. I am so awesome. So we have a pretty cool training for you guys here. This wherever you guys are watching this from morning, afternoon, evening time as well. We're gonna give you guys access to my docs as well too. You guys feel free to take notes on your end, but we'll give it to you guys if you guys registered for this training. We'll be sending it out for you guys afterwards. If you found this video online somewhere, the link will be somewhere on this page to help you guys grab that as well. Okay, so let's kind of go dive straight in. In this session, we have a few things we'll talk about. One, what business really means for college. Number two, why business schools are super competitive. Number three, we're going to talk about rankings and how that really matters, yes or no. There's a few signature kind of business schools out there. We'll talk about them today. We talk about ROIs. One of the things that return on investment is a very business term on what you're going to spend, how much you're going to get back to it. It applies a lot to this kind of industry, this kind of college. So we'll talk about that. And if you are interested in the business field, what do admissions look for in your app? And then if you are a high school student, what should you do now to prepare for this in the future? So that's gonna be our little guide for today. If you guys are joining me live as well, feel free to drop any questions in the Q&A. We'll be doing, I should finish everything before the end so I can kind of answer a few questions for you guys as well too. Okay, let's go ahead and dive straight in. So first off, what is quote unquote business as well too? So keep in mind, not every business major is business. Now, actually, not every school even offers the word business as a major as well too. You kind of see this in various different ways. Some schools call it business admin, some schools call it economics, some schools even have a specialized like finance, marketing, management, entrepreneurship as well too. I would say they're kind of all interconnected as well too. So when you look for the word business major, some schools might not even have a business major. Keep that in mind, okay? Another thing to understand is that this is a school within the college itself. Like for example, one popular one, if you guys are interested in UC Berkeley, their business school is called Haas. It's the Haas School of Business under the College of UC Berkeley. So that's kind of, so some schools will let you apply directly into the school. Some schools you apply in and you have to apply to get into the college itself there. Something to keep in mind is that business is actually one of the fields that the experience is actually going to matter more in your degree. So I'm going to kind of convince you guys today that yes, we do want to go to a great school, but your experience outside the classroom is going to matter more as well. Like fun little fact for you guys. A lot of if you like look at the grad programs, right? So each school, each degree has its own grad program. You be a lawyer, law school, medicine, med school. If you want to get your business, you go to business school to get your MBA. Did you know the MBA has one of the latest start ages out of all the departments because they want you to go out and work and come back as well too. Okay, and for some schools I mentioned that don't have a business major, you can kind of get almost like a business education through a very relatively similar kind of field, right? Econ, data science, stats, communication psychology, public policy, global studies as well, right? For those of you, anyone here in the chat, anyone here from California, drop a quick yes in the chat. I know we have a lot of California families in our list as well too. So if you're in California, you guys may have known the UC system, the UC campuses, right? University of California. Did you know there's only 4 UCs with business degrees, right? Berkeley, Irvine, Riverside, Davis. How you remember that? The word bird. The word bird, BIRD. And the other ones, you can get a very, like for example, UCLA is not on this list, right? But they call it biz econ. That's their closest to business that they have. Most students who are doing business at UCLA, they are a biz econ or just an econ major specifically there. So the big takeaway, the first one is that the what matter isn't the title of the degree that you're gonna get, but it's how you're gonna apply it after the college itself. Okay, so let's take a step back. Let's talk about why business schools are so competitive to get into, right? And they are, right, as well too. It's not you need to get accepted to a school, but like I mentioned, the business school is within the college of itself. So think of it, it's a school, it's like a Russian doll, right? It's a school within a school as well too. So for example, the example here is you might be accepted to the University of Michigan. Their business school is called Ross. You may not make it to Ross, but you may get into University of Michigan as well. Keep in mind there are some programs that you only apply one time, and if you're rejected, you can't transfer in as well. So people think, oh, let me go in and come in as one field and switch into the other. Business is one of those fields that prevents you, a lot of schools, to do this. So just be careful if that's what you want to do. Be ready for that as well. Okay. When it comes to these programs, what they're looking for is basically your business thinking, initiative, leadership, problem solving. And when it comes to your essays, they are looking for the reflection of who you are, right? As well as the emotional intelligence, not just your skill set in things as well, right? So when it comes to understanding, because the most things that most students like to do, they Google what is the best business school to attend, and you have the list. That's why every student applies to the same like 5 schools as well too. But one thing we always encourage our students, again, look, that's one factor, but let's zoom out a little bit more as well too, right? So ranking is one factor, but it's not the main factor, I would say. So when it comes to that factors, why ranking isn't the most important thing you should care about is rankings is a math problem, right? Like if there's a math problem that creates this to be this ranking number. And then there's things that it goes into it, such as the faculty, how much research a faculty produces at a school. Do you care how much research a faculty creates? The peer reputation scores. Do you care how their other schools rate you? The endowment, how much money they have. Do you care about that for how good your school is, right? So when it comes to these, some of them that might not even matter to what you care about. That's why when it comes to as well, when it comes to the ranking, is not the most important thing because it is based on some metrics that you may not even care about. It's the thing, right? But that being said, we always say rankings can be a starting point for you, right? Help you understand the programs, help you understand if you see they're ranked pretty high year after year, they're consistent. Some schools do jump back and forth, right? So they might be little unpredictable there, but a lot of schools tend to stay at the top. Even though it's like Ivies, they tend to stay at the very top. They can move around a little bit, but they kind of stay around the same areas. So that's something for you to keep in mind. That being said, what we tell students, specifically business, right? So this is specifically for business now, is business, like I mentioned above, it's a very skill focused field, right? So your degree matters to a certain level, but what's more important is what you do outside of your degree after you get your degree. So what we tell students look for is number one, what schools actually recruit from your school, because they do this. College companies come, they recruit, they offer internship opportunities, internship outcomes. This is something that you could actually look up, right, as well. A lot of people don't know this. If you look up the schools actually brag about this number. There's these stats of like, hey, our students intern here, because little like spoilers for the future, wherever you end up interning your year 2, year 3 of college usually ends up being your first job because They like you as a student, they'll take you on full time after you graduate as well. Think of there's also alumni networks, right? Alumni like to go back because they're like, hey, I graduated from this school. Other people from this school are probably awesome fits as well too. They explore people who do startups as well too. So I think that's the big thing to understand. So one thing we even tell our students, like, hey, if you even go to a top 50 school that has a very strong partnership with a company that can get you a job, that might even matter more to you than a top 10 where most students can't even find a job after their experience as well too. So again, one of the things about business specifically, it's about the opportunities afterwards, right? So when it comes to rankings, we will tell students use rank to help you narrow down your list, identify, shortlist a few schools, but focus on fit, right? Focus on finding the school that's the best fit for you. That's gonna be the key. And also at the end, what's gonna help you get to where you wanna go is gonna be the key. Okay. Breaking down the big players. There are a few schools. So again, some of you guys who are here, your child's thinking about business as well. There's probably a few names that comes up all the time as well. So let's talk about that so you guys can just know what the big names are. So one of the popular ones is Ross, right? University of Michigan, Ross is always typically top five. A lot of these students do end up working at consulting or corporate as well too. Think of it as a big state school with business prep. So it's focused on collaboration driven, team focus. Why am I telling you this? By the way, if you're interested in these schools, schools are trying to look for students who are like them, right? So if you are, by the way, if you have any seniors here who are applying to these schools, these are some of the things to understand about the culture of that school you want to embody, right? You want to show them, I'm already like your school. I'm a good fit there. That's why. So think about that as well too. So their ideal student is usually someone who's outgoing, team-oriented leader who thrives in like a big college atmosphere, and they love like the career pipeline to get them to step to step to step as well. Keep in mind, this is one of the schools that you apply once. If you get rejected, you cannot transfer into business. That's something to keep in mind as well. Okay, so that's Michigan Ross. Next one, UPenn, Wharton. This is probably by far the number one ranked business school anywhere you go, right? Anywhere you go in the world, they'll say, oh, Wharton's, boom, that is the business school of all too. This one, very intensive, very competitive, very pre-professional. People network right away from day one because they know that's the atmosphere of this area. So the ideal student here typically is academic. You're exceptional. Your grades are super, super strong, rigorous classes. You're very involved in your community, and you're already showing business acumen. Maybe you already have a business. You have your own startup. You're growing something. You help the business grow. That's usually what the archetype of a Wharton student kind of looks like. Next one, Stern, right, from NYU, right? This school is very famous for finance because of the location it's from, finance and global business. So the culture of the students here, very fast. If you guys have been to New York, it's that kind of like, would you be a good fit there? Not only for the school, think of it this way, when you're going to college, you're entering the atmosphere there as well too. So New York, and people juggle nonstop things, classes to internships as well too. So a lot of the ideal student here is very independent. They're street smart. They're a self-starter. They love to say they love networking. That's kind of New York in a nutshell as well too, right? So that's Stern. Next one, Berkeley Haas, from coast to coast, right? This is the Haas School of Business. This is the West Coast like area. This is very connected to Silicon Valley. A lot of startups come from Haas because of that reason as well too. They're also really big on entrepreneurship. So like starting own business as well too. A lot of people, I graduated from Berkeley as well too. A lot of my friends who went to Haas, they right now they either run startups or they work in a leadership position of these type of companies as well too, right? So the culture is very innovative, very progressive, very impact driven. For here, these students, again, sustainability, startups, and social impact. So the ideal student here is more entrepreneurial, more socially conscious, and already doing something, right? You're building your own business. You're improving something already. So you're not just starting here. You're kind of just using this to elevate what you're doing as well too, right? Another one is Kelly, right? Kelly in Indiana, right? So this one is really awesome if you're interested in marketing, supply chains, and this is like a Midwestern school. So again, very strong professional polish as well too. The ideal student is a relationship builder, right? And that's kind of how supply chain and marketing kind of works. It's like interacting with other folks as well too. So kind of communicator, and they're heading off to leadership roles. And the last one on my list is going to be Mendoza, University of Notre Dame, as well too. National respect with a focus on ethics, leadership, and core values. From these schools, this is one of the most faith-based schools, right? So very faith-driven, collaborative community as well too. Ideal students, grounded, service. Again, big thing here is faith, right? So again, one of the things we tell our students who apply to them, make sure we integrate your faith in there in this school, because that's one of the big things that they care a lot about. So these are some examples. These are some examples of the big, I think that's all the big ones you have. These are the big schools that they're going after. So again, that's why some students will make it into some business schools and not others, because you see the schools are looking for certain archetypes in certain students as well over here. Okay, so that's going to be the different schools. So now the ROI, right? So you're going to spend a lot of time, you're going to invest a lot of money into business school, right? Is it going to pay out for you at the other side, right? You're going to pay money, and that's kind of the goal of college. I'm assuming for a lot of you guys, we're sending, especially parents, right? We're sending our kids to college. Hopefully, they can make more money on the other side after they graduate with their degree. So keep it this way: is what you get versus what you pay as well. So one of the things here we always tell our things that the students look at is, again, the purpose of going to college for a lot of students is to get a job, to get a career outside in that field you want to study for. So for example, what we tell our students to look into is, where are you going to end up going to after you get your degree, right? What companies would hire you? How fast do you find a job? A lot of people think that's an automatic thing. That's not how it works as well too. Some students who are more proactive, they find stuff right away. They have it lined up by the time they graduate. There are a lot of students, by the way, who will graduate 6 months, nothing, right? And they'll probably get the groove again after. But again, for a lot, that's kind of common in today's world, especially as things get more and more competitive, right? That's that. Same thing, starting salaries, right? Because again, if let's say you went to a school that you paid only $5,000 a year, and your first job out of college pays $100,000 automatically, you just paid off everything you paid to go to this for 4 years, for example. So I said something to keep in mind as well too. Again, look for real outcomes. We just tell, like, and I always tell students, ignore what you see online. Go talk to actual people, right? Talk to students who are graduates. Again, this is like, I only wrote it here, but LinkedIn is a really good resource for you guys. Go on LinkedIn, look at the student who graduated from school, send them a DM, right? Talk to real students who graduate from the schools and hear from them. I always say that the colleges, they're paid to tell you nice things, right? They're paid to say good things about the school. Students went there. They'll give you the most rawest reactions and the things. That's why I tell students, like, unrelated, but campus tours. If you guys go into campuses, I always say talk to students, like, who are sitting around and just eating around. I just ask them, hey, by the way, I'm a potential student here. Can I ask you a few questions about your time as a student? And you can ask them the real questions that you care about, because they're not paid to say nice things about you. They can give you the truth. If a school is good, if a school is bad. And spoilers, every school is good, every school is bad. There's always the goods and bads at every school. You're just okay with the bads, knowing the goods. That's kind of the takeaway over here. Okay. So again, a lot of it is understanding, like, for example, would you go to a $45,000 school with a guaranteed internship pipeline, or a $75,000 a year top name school with limited access that you may not even get? As well too. Keep in mind, there are some schools that they only hire, or they usually recruit from certain schools as well too. So that's something you guys will play into your picture as well. Okay. So going back, so now that we know the future, let's focus on now, right? So as a high school student, again, in the chat, I asked who was here. We have a good mix. We have 9th, 10th, 11th, a few 8th graders I see here, so a few 8th. So a lot of people starting early in this journey. So here's what you should focus on now to prepare for once you guys get there as well too. So number one, business programs focus less on titles, more on impact as well too, right? So you don't have to just get the president title for everything you do. They just want to see, what did you do to make something better? That's pretty much what business is: solving a problem, right? If you break it down, business 101, business is solving a problem. So going here, did you improve a club? Did you launch a new project? Did you create something to help other people? Admissions really love initiative, problem solving, and follow through. Exactly what a business is, right? Starting something, solving the problems, and follow through. You see, like, the analogies here, right? Some things here, a few things you can consider doing if those are interested in business. These are some of the things that our students have done, so I kind of pulled them from them. So our students, who this is yours, I took your ideas, right? So number one, some of our students even start their own business, right, or their own fundraiser or online store. Now with Shopify, you can look it up. online store. You can sell things online. You don't have to sell only in person anymore. Let's go online. Let's go e-commerce, right? Sell stuff online there. Some of our students who love who's like very education focused, they want to tutor. They start their own tutoring service as well too. I wrote the word nonprofit here. I have my own 2 cents as nonprofits. If you gotta do it truly for the greater good, to do it long-term thing, do it. If you're doing it to look good for college, I would respectfully ask you guys, don't do that. It's not just you're doing a project. You're doing a project to help people out. Don't do a nonprofit for that way here. Okay. Another way, leading a team project, right? Creating a campaign, our community event. Again, leadership skills over here. If you manage the finances for a club or a competition, all of these show different aspects of entrepreneurial thinking as well too. Something else to consider is they want to see the connection, right? We always tell students, well, I always tell students, case your major, because this is what we look for. Why do you care about business, right? What got you excited about this? What got you curious outside of just the things you're reading, you're building, and you're doing? And do your action back up your interest? I tell you, in activities, right? You can take business classes, but do stuff. Join clubs. There's clubs like FBLA, DECA. You can join to help kind of start that, and you can build your own things, do your own thing, volunteer at a company, intern somewhere as a high school student, right? Do things as well. And then here's just a few more ideas. I got list a few: DECA, FBLA, creating an outreach organization, community drive, building a website, selling art. These are just all ideas. There's no like things that are good or bad. These are what makes sense the most to you. Let's go down that direction as well too. Okay. And then, so now what should you do to prepare for this? Start early. From an academic point of view, you want to take the business driven classes. We always say, try to get to at least calculus is the math that you have to hit, right? So try to get to calculus if you can. Is it cool? You can take stats too. Stats is cool, but I ideally would love to get calculus on your schedule in some capacity. A lot of the other ones, econs, usually a class that high school students take as part of their graduation requirements. You'll probably do that anyways. If you want to take other related stats, marketing, computer science, if your school offers them, go ahead and do that as well too, right? Big thing, like I mentioned again, before and after, real world experience matters the most. So do stuff, less about the classwork stuff, more about the hands-on things, right? And you can't say, oh, I don't know any. I'm like, I gave you a bunch of ideas today. And for you as going out, and again, business students, they're proactive. They're going to go out and try to figure out something for them to do is the key there. So again, for me is go out and do things as well. There's some skills that you guys definitely want to make sure you guys start growing as well too. And again, showing the curiosity and the why business answer. Again, you're doing all this stuff because one of the essay questions is going to ask you, why do you want to be a business major? And if you just say, oh, in the future, I want to make a lot of money as well too, which I'm sure is part of the reason why, right? That's a future answer. I always tell students the future is not guaranteed to you. So what you want to focus on is focus on what you have done, right? So show me what you did in 9th grade, in 10th grade, in 11th grade, the summer before 12th grade, what you do there to kind of prepare you, right, for that field in business is going to be the key. Okay. So that's gonna be the big highlights for you. Again, the one of the big kind of takeaways, if you have to summarize, again, I'm going to open up some Q&A if you guys, I see a few questions here already. So if you guys have questions, start dropping in the chat as well. We can kind of answer those for you guys also today. First one, business isn't one major. Again, there's not just one degree. You can study business through a lot of different fields, right? I always tell you, most likely, if you want to go business, you're going to probably end up getting your MBA anyways, which means work backwards. You're going to get a degree, you're going to work, then you go apply. That's usually how the process looks like for you guys, right? Business schools are very competitive. Keep that in mind. You usually have to get admitted twice, right, into the college and into the program. That's something to keep in mind as well. So that's why it's really tough here. Keep in mind, ranking is just one factor of the picture. Is not the entire thing. Can help you get started, but find things that matters. Again, for especially your business, if you try to make like, hey, I want to make money out of this, do they have placement programs? Do they have internship help with this to help you with this work as well too? So you think the ROI thing, right? And again, admission values your action, doing things, not saying things, not having special titles, but doing the actual work is going to be important. So again, the perfect student does start early, right? Math is the most important. Get to calculus as well too, right? That's kind of the only class you take. But then do hands-on things, right? Get hands-on experience, internships, starting your own business, things like that way as well. Try to find the best fit for you. And the biggest thing I say, business is learned by doing, right? So one of the few fields. The other one, by the way, is computer science. Those are the two fields that you learn more outside the classroom than inside the classroom itself too. Okay, so that's gonna be the big one, and that's gonna be your quick little 101 on business. All righty. Was that helpful? Everyone drop a quick little yes in the chat if that was a little helpful for you guys. You got to learn a thing or two. Awesome. We have a few questions in the chat. We'll go ahead and kind of review that together as well. Someone asked, I think I just answered it, but I'll answer again. One of the questions in the chat was, what maths should I take? I think I answered it, but the thing for a business student, for a business to be specific, for business, right? So I typically recommend at least calculus BC or two, depending on how you take college or high school, right? If you can, right? If you can as well too, right? The reason why is that's almost the expectation for a lot of schools to get you to calculus. So I would do that if you can. If you can't, it's okay. It's like if you can't do like AB, pre-calc, like in that order as well too. Stats is cool too, right? As you stats, you can add stats. You could add stats as well in the journey. It's not going to hurt you as well too. But again, I'll say the math is more important for a business student than anything else there. Okay. Someone asked, scroll back to previous page. I'm not sure which page you're looking for. Let me know which page you're looking for. I'm going to scroll back to that one as well. Someone asked for what clubs. I think I answered that one as well too. Question was what clubs can I join? Again, so the quick answer is like the answer is any club is fine, right? But right in business, typically business, right? Two common ones I see is gonna be FBLA and DECA. These are two like business competitions ones as well too. So those are probably the ones that our students do the most. So if you guys want to check those out, feel free to do that as well. Okay. Someone say final takeaways. Final takeaways one more time. Number one, business is just one major, is not one major. Keep in mind, most schools don't offer a business major. So you can still do business. It's just that pick a different major to study is the key, right? Number two, business schools are ultra competitive. Number three, reality is not equal to a reality. Rank is not equal to reality, sorry. So basically focus more on the outcomes of the degree rather than the ranking of the program, right? ROI is the thing you want to look for. Which one gets you the most money? Which one gets you the impact that you want the most? Number five, admissions value actions, not titles. Don't just be, excuse me, don't just be something fancy and do something that like that readers are looking for, the leadership traits as well. Number six, start early. We have a lot of 9th and 10th graders here. Definitely start early is always a key here. Fit over prestige. Not everyone's going to end up at Wharton, the number one school. It's okay. Find the one that fits you the best is the key, right? And the last one, again, business is learning by doing rather than sitting in a classroom. All right. Someone asked here, another class-related question, is AP Lang and AP Lit important for business major as well too? And for me, the answer is yes, right? But not for business, It is for the rigor of your schedule as well too. Keep in mind, for business, do you need that? No, you don't need that. But if you want to get into all the schools that I mentioned above, right? They're competitive schools, right? So not only are they looking at just your business acumen, right? These schools want to make sure you can handle the rigor at their school as well too. That's why you want to can spell maximize your rigor, right? So APs, IBs, dual enrollments, right? Over like honors over regular. So basically try to take as many of the AP or not pluses slash or, right? Or the other ones. So your goal is to max the rigor as much as you can to help with the business to help get into the schools, right? Is the key there. And the other questions are all repeats. Cool. Awesome. Perfect. Looks like we had a lot of yeses. This training was helpful for a lot of you guys. Again, this is just like a little quick little a little snippet for students who are interested in the business route as well too. So that's pretty much it for this training here. There for you guys. Again, if you guys register for this training, our team will send you guys the link to this doc after this call. If you guys are joining us a replay, and this link somewhere down below with the access, you guys can join us there as well too. Right. That is pretty much it for me here today. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys in the next one.